Welcome to Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well, thanks for joining me. Today is moving day and I am 1 week ahead of the CRT, which is I think that's a first for me. We've had a few water problems in Berkhamsted this morning, so one of the pounds up at Northchurch was completely drained. I've just seen a few CRT guys and they've said they've sorted it all out. So now I need to tether both boats up together. I'm going to put slow patrol on the starboard side of 58 and then I'll propel both boats using Project 58. And we're going up to see Rob. Right, both boats have been tethered together. I've secured the tiller in a central position on slow patrol. The lock is emptying, so as soon as these boats come through, I'll be on my way. Lock 52, first one of the day, and I've got my mate Joe to help today, which is lucky. So it'll make the passage to Cowroast a bit quicker. Oh, that is cute. Right, let's unmoor. Okay, we're off. First lock set, so I can go straight in, and both these gates open fully, so I can actually get both boats in together. I don't think that's going to be the case for all of them though, so I'm pretty glad Joe's here to join me for some of this. Get my passage up to Cowroast done a bit quicker. While slow patrol and Project 58 are coming up in the lock behind me, I'll walk up and set this lock up, leave Joe in charge. But the water levels will look pretty good today, actually really good. There's a overflow there, and that's hardly ever in action, so yeah, this is good. Right, both these gates open fully as well, so as a result, although it's not easy to line up, I've got to say, there's a bit of crosswind as well today, but I do struggle with this. Luckily, slow patrol is kind of a good 15 foot back from the front of Project 58, so I've got a bit of room to manoeuvre there. So I kind of go in on that angle, and then when Project 58's nose in, then I turn it. The good thing about being tethered up is that dead slow for me, or tick over, is actually a damn sight slower. Now I've got another 20 tons being hauled alongside it. But it's pretty narrow, this little bit going up through the end of Berkhamsted, going up towards Northchurch, and there's a Y-beam on the end, right near the bridge on a bend, so it's all a bit tricky around here. So nice and slow. I'm pretty sure that's Ben's scrap metal boat, and I've got an old chair to get rid of. I really hope that's a scrap metal boat. Right, Joe's just gone up ahead to set up the lock. I'll be some time though. Bloody not much room for error here. There's nothing next to slow patrol either. Alright, making my way into this last lock in Berkhamsted, and I think both gates are open fully again. Yes, they are. Result, should be able to get in here, not too much bother. Okay, Bush's lock, number 50, is one of those ones where both gates don't open fully. So I'm hoping, still might be able to squeeze through it. I've heard that some Y-beams and Dutch barges, their approach is basically lots of throttle to force your way through the gate. I don't really know about that. I guess that would work easier as it's one craft than what I've got, but let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. Oh yeah, this is fine. Right, nothing to worry about. Next lock, let's hope it's the same story. In here is that it's exceptionally shallow. Right, the other problem I've got is shallow pounds. This pound here was the one that was drained this morning, and it's still bloody shallow. So I'm sticking to the right hand side of the channel, but around there it was a little bit narrow. I think I ground out over there. I've heard the CRT have let all this silt up. They never dredge around here, no one ever moors around here, but it's just secure the bank up more to prevent all these houses here from flooding. So it's a purposeful decision not to dredge, apparently. Right, I'm making it through the slowest pound ever, and I'm now coming up to a bit of a squeaky bum time because there's a arch bridge coming up, and well, I ain't got much room either side of this one. Luckily, chimneys and slow patrol are in the centre, so that's alright. Right, I'm now thinking after all that ordeal, I've got quite a lot of rubbish wrapped around my prop. So when I get into the lock and tie up, I'll chuck it into reverse if I can get it freed. If not, I'll have to open up the weed hatch, which I haven't had to do yet. I think there might be a boat waiting at the top of that lock to come through. Joe's had the gates open for ages because it's taken me ages to get through this pound. Literally, it's taken me about half an hour to do this. It usually takes a couple of minutes. So I'm hoping I haven't got any glum faces looking at me. This is the squeaky bum moment for slow patrol. You can see a couple of wide beams have already had a chunk out of that bridge. Gates look fully opened. Result. Quick nudge of throttle. Centre line. And pop off, nice and casually. Oh bollocks, I left the windlass on the boat. The reason why this water is such an unusual colour is because they're pumping it up from the borehole, because that was the pound that was flooded this morning. Right, let's have a look at this weed hatch. All the fresh water being pumped in. When I say I've never done a weed hatch, I've never even done one on slow patrol. So yes, there is some rubbish wrapped around that prop. Not a vast amount, but there is some. As useful as that clear water was for looking down at the prop, it's also going to cause me a bit of a headache getting out of here. So a bit of overcompensation on the throttles required. Right, I'm on this long stint now between North Church and Dudswell. Go through Dudswell into Donkeys, up through Donkeys into kind of the first bit of Cowroast, and I think I'll moor up just below the Summit Lock, Cowroast Lock, if there's space for me. I'd like to be single-breasted there because I've got a load of work to do. inside there, and it's easier for the kids to get on that one singly. So I'll see what the space is looking like though. Oh shit, that's what I was dreading. A Y-beam coming up against me in this pound, and it is so shallow here. Vegetation on that side, that's where I'm going to have to tuck myself, and hopefully he's going to kind of tuck himself in as close to the towpath as he can. Here's Joe cycling down to tell me what the score is. Joe's also told me there's another Y-beam in the lock coming down as well, so this is probably the best passing spot, to be honest, but otherwise I'm going to have to go up to the lock and wait there. Again, not much room for error here as I approach the Dudswell Bridge coming into the lock. Poor old Slow Patrol's paintwork. My last lock of the day, I think, and there's a boat coming up. It's only a single, luckily, plenty of space for us to move, so happy days. All of that came off my prop. I used that technique that Tim showed us last summer of using the boat hook from here. Right, I'm hoping that's the last lock done, and can moor up just underneath the next lock, right in Cowroast. Perfect. This isn't easy to judge. Moored up Y-beam right next to a tree which is overhanging. The guy's on his boat as well, hanging out the hatch. I'm trying not to smash his doors with Slow Patrol. I've got to then tuck in there ahead of that one. I've got loads more vegetation around my prop. I'm doing 1200 revs. I've just been informed there is a space on the lock, or just before the lock landing, and there's a guy behind that who's going to be vacating later on, so I might keep both boats there. Not ideal next to a lock landing, but hopefully then single breast them up sometime this afternoon. Right, there might also be a space in front of this Dutch barge. That's massive. Well, that worked out pretty well. All moored up here at Cowroast. Got solar panel powering my fridge up. Although I've kind of overshot the landing bollard by, well, we'll call it a foot. So I'm really hoping some of these boats go and I can shimmy down a little bit. But this is a decent spot because just through this wheat field is the car. Right, got some people coming around for some beers later on, which would be nice. Let's go and see Rob. He's in the Marina. This is round the back of Cowroast Marina. This is the Aqua Vista place. It stinks around here. I think they've got a cesspit down there. It's gross. But there's Rob and his boat. Oh my god, it looks like looks like a drowned rat. Hey, she's looking good, man. Oh, smells like marine environments. Bloody hell, he's still going. He's been at it for hours. Oh my word, he hasn't even done this side yet. Holy, he is being thorough.
No, if you can lift it back out of the way it goes, perhaps you can draw through.
Rob's got a problem with his, what's that called? Tiller what?
Tiller, I don't know.
Tiller mounting.
Tiller mount.
Anyway, 4 of the bolts, well, they've all sheared off. So it's all pretty, but it's been like that for about a year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got us to Crick, all right?
That angle looks quite good.
Right, you've got an hour left of power hosing, and then it's dinner time.
Cool.
Right, for dinner tonight we're having a Goan curry, and we'll be mostly drinking Doombar and Moretti. And then tomorrow I'm going to be cracking on with taking some boards down inside that. I've got the girls, the little girls, I think, all weekend, or some of the weekend and all of next week. God knows, it's going to be tricky. But that's the plan. Right, Rob's on his way. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.